Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is a scene for Changing the Dreaming, Living World Darkness. And in this scene, we have the second tutorial of Shaban. They have not met since Salwain, where they woke up together uh, on a car with torn clothes. Uh, so she is returning to continue her instruction and to figure out what to do with this clusterfuck. Terran's shop, as always, is a hodgepodge of tools, equipment, and scrap. He has a surround sound system that seems to have been upgraded. The sound quality is a bit superior than it was before, but just as loud. And today he is blaring, we'll say he's blaring Avenged Sevenfold today. And he is currently working on the same car that he was last time. Only this time he's buried deep inside the engine compartment. The engine has been removed and is up on a rack. And all she can see is his feet kind of hanging up. And he's cursing.
Siobhan will kind of wander in, and once she leaves the public part of the shop, she will drop her backpack kind of just unceremoniously on the floor and find somewhere to flop over. She groans very, very loudly when she does.
It takes Terran a little bit to notice that Shaban is here. He eventually climbs up out of the hood of the car and wipes his brow with a rag that has a grease on it, so at least kind of a grease smear over across his forehead. There's a beer hanging close by, and he grabs that and takes a swig, and that's when he notices Shaban. He reaches for the remote and turns down the volume to a level where they can talk.
Hey, Taryn.
Hi. He kind of climbs up out of the car.
What you doing?
I am working on this piece of shit, and he kind of kicks it.
Cool.
Haven't seen you around in a while.
Yeah, I tried to go back to work.
Yeah, how'd that go for you?
It sucks. I've got my boss is really, really annoyed with my cosplay contacts that I keep wearing, and I tried to get normal contact lenses, but they irritate my eyes, and I can't wear them all day. And it's so annoying.
Yeah, life's a bitch.
Thanks, you're so helpful.
Just call it as I see it. The mundane feel a bit more mundane to you now?
Yeah, maybe. It's not super exciting anymore.
Yeah, it's because it's called the gray world for a reason. Don't worry. I'll take you into the dreaming sometime soon.
Where's that?
You're kind of standing in it, and then again, you're not. It's for now. We'll just call it a different plane of existence.
Okay. Do I need to smoke anything to get there?
Well, you don't have to, but if you want to, by all means, toke it up.
He just kind of shrugs. Maybe.
It's where changelings are kind of from, kind of not from.
What do you mean? Like the facial shit again?
Yeah, the face soul shit. At one point, your face soul was just that. It was just a soul. Some people refer to them as true Fae. I don't know how apt that description is. Uh,
So
bottom,
are we like generic Kroger brand Fae?
no, you're Fae and human. A very common term referred to us by other denizens of the dreaming is half breed.
That's wonderful.
Long, long time ago, the werewolf and the dreaming were one. Happy times were had by all. Then eventually banality began to grow and grow and grow. And there is an event called the Sundering, where the dreaming breaks off, becomes its own separate plane. And in order for the Fae to survive in this Bano as fuck location, a bunch of the Kith performed a ritual called the Changeling Way, in which they house their souls in mortal bodies to protect themselves from the banality of the world.
Uh-huh.
And that happened to your soul at one point, and that's why when you die, your soul will move on to a new body. It's the effects of that ritual.
Okay. Not the weirdest bullshit I've heard so far.
But because of that, some of the denizens of the dreaming, like the Adheen, who you'll meet, I'm sure, call us half breeds.
What's an adhene?
You know, there's a lot of debate on that. Um, it's a type of fae that lives in the dreaming, and in order to come to the gray world, have to inhabit a mortal body temporarily. You'll meet a couple.
Temporarily? So
Yeah, they
like
can.
they raise corpses?
No, they. I'm not quite sure on the specifics. They just enter bodies. You have to ask them. There was a war with them a couple years back, a little over a year ago. It ended in a ceasefire. And now they live with us. Yay, us.
So I take it you don't like them? Is that like magically racist or something?
Well, they were the enemy at one point. They're very primitive. They come from it's all doom and gloom and primordialness. The strong survive, the weak get destroyed. And
Uh-huh.
there's no alcohol that I know of, which makes it terrible.
So what were you guys fighting? Or I guess what were we fighting about?
Well, that depends on who you talk to. From our point of view, we were attacked by them, and they invaded us. From their point of view, we launched the first blow, and they were retaliating.
Okay.
Those are the two basic stories. From my point of view, they invaded us. And then to combat them, the Shi, who, as you remember from our last lessons, are our rulers. Long may they go fuck themselves. They decided that they needed war machines and weaponry. And lots of it. So they came to the Knockers and asked us kindly if we would make weapons for them. And most of us very kindly in reply said, you can go fuck yourself. And they took us by force, imprisoned us, and forced us to make weapons for them. And he says that, Terran's eyes like it just kind of burn with hatred.
What the fuck?
They called it the conscription. It wasn't until the war was over that we were released.
So, like, why was there not like a huge resistance against that? That's pretty fucked up.
Oh, we resisted. Tried to. They have a lot of people backing them. Some of the kiths have the not our problem, so they did nothing. It was only in this kingdom. It wasn't all over. And there was a war, so things were overlooked.
It's a pretty big thing to overlook.
Yeah, no shit. Hence, why myself and several others of my kind despise them.
I don't blame you.
So when you're talking to a she, keep that in mind.
Guess I'm lucky I haven't seen one for a while.
You will. There are several of them who label themselves progressives who say that they fight for the commoners. Yeah, we'll see.
So, did the people that made that conscription get punished?
They're just going to punish them themselves.
I mean, if they're a progressive she, shouldn't that be on their like list of shit to do?
Conservative she are the ones who hold all the power.
So,
Only the strong survive, apparently. Oh, there's some people who make the attempt, but nothing's ever come of it.
oh,
The minority of the she oppose it. The majority of them were okay with it because, in the end, it is our place to serve.
that's that's really fucked up.
Yeah,
This is a
well,
shitty lesson.
it is a shitty lesson, but one that remains. It's one you have to learn.
So, like, what now?
Well, now you exist in their kingdom. You're in it right now. You just live and you get by.
It's depressing as shit.
Oh, but there's a lot of fun to be had when fucking with them. There are places you can go where the Shi hold less power or no power whatsoever.
Like where?
Goblin Town.
Why don't we just move there? And like live with goblins?
Goblins is a. I guess I'm a goblin per se. Uh, I reside in Goblin Town and out here. Goblin Town's a big place, but you can't stay there forever. Eventually, you have to leave. It's a sovereign nation inside New York, comprised entirely of Unseelie, like us. Most of them knockers, like me. Most of them were conscripted.
How'd they how'd they get a sovereign nation?
It was one of the things the kingdom did to try to stem an uprising of all the knockers with all of their gadgets and things of death.
So their mind control shit doesn't work there?
It works there if they come there, but there's a lot more of us than there are of them. There are traps, many, many traps. It's not a place you want to go.
Well, she kind of shrugs. I don't know, that's a starting point for something.
For what exactly?
I don't know if there's like a nation that isn't a fucking feudal kingdom, then that means there could be more and bigger ones.
Well, it's, in the United States, it's all feudal, with little pockets of not feudal.
Something.
Well, that's why I live there. Since you're my ward, you're welcome to come with me, of course.
With you?
I wouldn't go wandering down there by yourself.
I'm not a she.
Yeah, they don't know who you are. And with all the nonsense and bullshit going around, they're twitchy.
What kind of nonsense?
Remember how I said that this kingdom is ruled by the Seelie?
Yeah.
Well, there was, out of nowhere, a meeting that was taking place. And meetings happen, but this meeting was held here in New York in Home Fires, and the leader of the Kingdom of Apples, Morwen, was there. The Queen of Concordia, or the United States, was there, which is a big fucking deal. All the dukes of the Kingdom of Apples were called in, which is a big fucking deal. And they held a meeting for several days. didn't tell anyone what it was about. They all leave, and then Morwen calls a meeting of all the counts of New York, which is a big deal. And they meet. And then suddenly a proclamation is called at Staten Island, who the count at the time was a Gwydion named Felix, was imprisoned for crimes against the dreaming. His barons were imprisoned for crimes against the dreaming. And the new rulers of Staten Island are to be a countess that no one's heard of, who's never held lands before, so I hear, and she's unseelie. Doesn't that sound really fucking weird?
Yeah.
So the kingdom of Sealy, since in this proclamation, thanks this countess for bringing evidence against Felix, and as a gift, she's given a county. An unseelie countess is given a county in a Sealy kingdom. That's really fucking weird.
You think she's a puppet?
I don't know what the fuck's going on. Well, Goblin Town, which is its own sovereign nation that exists in New York, had no idea what the fuck was going on either. And they really thought they should be kept in the loop. Since you called everyone of power to New York to discuss what is obviously this transition, not a single member of Goblin Town was called. And that's fucking bullshit.
But I thought Goblin Town was a different country.
It is, but it resides in the kingdom. We're in New York. So anything that happens affects us too.
Okay.
So Goblin Town was a bit peeved. They've made official requests to be included, and they were all ignored. They weren't denied, they were ignored. And before, she and Goblin Town at least had a working relationship. We are master craftsmen. We make things of practicality and of beauty, and the she buy them because we're the best. And our shit's expensive because we're the best. So when they need us, they're more than willing to talk. And when they don't need us, we're ignored entirely. So it was decided by the higher ups in Goblin Town that the she were now banned from Goblin Town. They're not to enter.
All right.
And all of our prices have gone up.
Because you have to like export them?
No, because they can go fuck themselves and we're raising our prices.
Fair enough.
And that's where we stand currently.
So, is Goblin Town only knockers?
It's mostly knockers. Not just because we're the one that founded it. It's underground.
Like in the sewers or the subways?
Yes and no. The entrance is there, yes. Parts of it are there, yes, and parts of it are in the dreaming. It's a freehold, and a very big one. One of the biggest in the world.
Uh huh.
You remember Home Fires and how big it was inside? Out of character, it's level 5 freehold. It's huge.
Yeah,
Uh, Bury that underground, and then you have Goblin Town.
that sounds kind of awesome.
It's a very beautiful place. It's almost entirely crafted by knockers. It's a bit twisty and turny, but once you know the way your way around, it's a place of pure creation where we can just build. Recently, the kingdom was attacked by pirates in a large-scale battle on Talk Like a Pirate Day, and Goblin Town sent flyers with bombs. It was glorious. Knockers on looks like surfboards with a mast on them flew in and dropped bombs of our own design.
So, like Treasure Planet?
Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like Treasure Planet.
That's pretty cool.
Well, she got on their boats and tried to take them by sea. We took them by the air. The pirates had no defenses against air raids. It was glorious.
So, what were the pirates?
I don't understand the question.
Like you said, there were other denizens of the Dreaming, or they're just a bunch of pirates hanging around?
They're Chimera.
So, like the things that horned guy was eating.
Yeah, like those. The Dreaming spawns them. It's anything that humanity has ever dreamt.
It just spawns them, like NPCs out of WoW.
And a what?
WoW?
Oh, that. Oh, yeah, that game. Yeah, I guess kinda. I guess. Um, Did you ever have an imaginary child when you were a kid?
Huh?
When you were a child, a little snot-nosed kid, did you have an imaginary friend?
Yeah, it showed up when I crystallized.
But
Chrysalis?
before,
Chris. When I did that thing.
when you awoke, but your entire life you always thought that it was there, and you imagined it as a kid that it was there, and you interacted with it.
As a kid, yeah.
Yeah, and then you chrysalist, and then you realized that imaginary friend wasn't quite so imaginary.
Yeah.
Most kids with imaginary friends, their friends aren't all that imaginary. And
So
they
kids can see them?
Some can, yeah. Kids are naturally more or less mundane. The weight of the world hasn't crushed them. They're all wide-eyed and have active imaginations, so they're more in tune with the dreaming than adults.
Can they see us?
For the most part, no, but I've heard of every once in a while a kid can.
Huh.
If you've ever had a nightmare of some big beastie that terrified your dreams. There's probably a chimera of that running around in the dreaming somewhere.
Okay.
So during when the Pokemon Go game came out and the whole world was talking about it, it was
Uh-huh.
on the minds of millions of humans. Well, Pokemon started spawning all over the place, and people started catching them. They're still around.
I missed that.
Yeah, they once it
What?
died down. Once it died down, the Pokemon kind of stopped spawning. Some of the changelings in the area still have theirs.
Are there any wild ones?
No, they're all gone.
Oh.
This is what we call kind of like incidental chimera. They spawn because of a very strong belief at the moment. When that belief fades, then they fade. A lot of them only follow their nature. So if, say, you're walking down the street and just recently um, there is a veteran who was witnessed down an alley sleeping, and during one of the more active times of the dreaming, the his dreams spawned a horrific battlefield where incidental chimera were created to follow his dream, and the battlefield kind of played out in the alley. And you saw him and his friends in battle against some other forces. His dream was interesting, but it's very tragic for him, from what the dream told us.
Uh-huh.
Well, the chimera spawned are very real for us. So going that alley probably would have gotten us shot.
So you just avoided the alley?
Absolutely, I don't want to get shot. It's just it's the dreaming. It's everything humanity's ever imagined, good and bad. It's all of it. You can go into dreaming and see the most wondrous things ever imagined, and you can just stand in awe of the sheer beauty. Or you can find the most horrible things humanity has ever thought of, or dreamed about, and see exactly how dark those fuckers can get.
Shit.
The further into dreaming you go, the more crazy shit gets. Banality being a force of the mundane, a force of staticness and conformity. The parts of the dreaming closest to the gray world, that banality kind of leaks in and kind of solidifies things. Things will are still wonky. They still change and mutate and adjust, but it's a lot more rigid. The further away you go from that, the gray world, banality stops leaking in, and then unbridled creation occurs, and you see some of the weirdest shit.
So, like, at what point does it stop making sense so much that we can't even, like, comprehend it?
It's called the deep dreaming, unbridled creation.
Has anyone ever gone there?
Of course, you just have
What
to be very,
happened?
very, very fucking careful. Well, you'd have to talk to them. Um, I've personally never been there.
Oh.
Dreaming isn't necessarily a safe place for us. The, the further into the dreaming you go, the less safe it becomes.
Mm-hmm.
And you become more like your Fae soul. The further away from the Grey Wood you go, the Fae soul kind of starts manifesting itself more and more until, well, now you're a balance of human and Fae. That balance starts to tip the
Mm-hmm.
further you go in.
That doesn't sound like such a bad thing.
Imagine the Shi as you see them now, and imagine them just getting worse. A beauty so
Oh.
astounding that it paralyzes you when you look at them. And when they get mad at you, it's piss your pants terrifying. Some commoners will do whatever it takes just to make that Shi happy again.
Right.
Things like that.
Okay. Fair enough. So I guess if you go, don't bring a she with you.
Yeah, that's generally a rule of thumb for whatever you're doing. You might find a Shi or two you can tolerate, but never trust them.
I've had trouble finding one I can look at.
Yeah. There's a couple of houses you want to stay away from, too.
Houses?
The sheer nobility. All nobility have houses.
Right. So
You
like
can open
Game
up.
of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Game of Thrones. You have some people who are actual family members and some who are just servants of that family.
Uh-huh.
Uh, the Shi are all part of the family. The commoners who are part of the house are the servants. And they have reputations. Well deserved reputations. The driving force of the Shi sealiness is House Gwydion.
Mm-hmm.
1 second.
Okay.
Sorry about
It's
that.
okay.
Gwydions, House Gwydion. They can all sense deception.
Uh-huh.
Lying to them is a challenge. They tend to be really stuck up. Like they're the worst Shi. They're like the Shi of the Shi. They also have very, very strong concepts of honor, which, as we discussed last time, is a joke, but they believe in it very strongly. Next, you have, in no particular order, the Fiona,
Mm-hmm.
who no fear, like balls to the wall, no fear. They enjoy life a lot. Eating, drinking, fucking. They're the chillest of the she. They just love pleasure in all the forms that it comes in.
Okay,
You have
that doesn't
house,
sound terrible.
yeah, but they're still she. You have the Dougals who try to be us. They're crafters, and if you like second-rate stuff, then by all means buy from them. When my kind decides to join a house, it's usually them.
We can join houses?
You can,
Why?
because she loves servants. The
Oh,
feudal system doesn't exist without servants. There's some
right.
benefit, but the negatives far outweigh any benefit you get. Like your new nickname will become traitor or tool.
I have a feeling a lot of the negatives will be coming from you.
Fuck yeah, I will. My goal is to teach you better than that.
Fair enough. I I'm not too keen on being a servant, so it's a step in the right direction.
That's my girl. And then you have the Ilunids. They are a house of busybodies. They're the house of secrets. They love intrigue. They love to lie, to manipulate.
Right.
So if a Lunid is talking to you, you always have to think in the back of your mind, is what they're saying actually legit? Or is it bullshit? Or is it a mixture of both? Then the last Sealy house, well, there are others, but the big ones is House Liam. Uh, they're the downtrodden of the She. The other She seem to really don't dislike their house. Something about oath breaking. I don't know the story, but Liam,
They're a downtrodden she.
yeah, they generally get shit on. They might have done something really bad to earn that kind of treatment.
So their houses don't even like each other?
They work together, I guess, but do they like each other? Probably as much as rival houses can.
Okay.
I mean, if I was a she and you were a she and we were of the same house, wouldn't and am I aren't I more inclined to help you than someone of another house?
I guess so.
And it wouldn't it be more beneficial for me for you to get more power than to say another house?
Uh-huh.
So that very that very dichotomy breeds conflict. I mean, where do your loyalties lie? To your kingdom, to your house, to your kith? What happens when you have to make a decision between what benefits the kith or your house? What do you choose? The kingdom or your house? Where's the line?
I don't know.
None other than anyone else. It's different for everyone. Your line might be different from my line. I mean, with me, you know what you're going to get. I'm loyal to me. I'm loyal to my people. People who I like. That's how it is. But with a she, and you're a friend of the she, they're loyal to you, their house, their kingdom, their kith. Where do you fall in that line? Probably really fucking low.
Right.
So you don't know what you're getting. You don't know where they stand. If she's nice to you, you have to ask yourself why.
Probably because they want something.
Probably. But why would a member of the nobility talk to a commoner? It's probably because they want something. They need something from you. You know, they say they have your best interest at heart. Well, how do they know what our best interests are?
Right.
That's why I don't trust them. Even the ones who don't seem too bad. They're still she.
For that conscription thing, I don't blame you. That's really fucked up.
It is really fucked up. They didn't even offer to pay us afterwards for all the shit we built for them.
To what? To try to pass it off as a job?
Yeah, it would have been an attempt. They gave us our own sovereign nation that was already ours anyways. So it's like you were your own sovereign nation. We're like, yeah, we know. It just wasn't on paper, but everyone knew what the score was. You don't fuck with Goblin Town.
Yeah.
So in the end, what did they give us? A hollow gift? Something we already owned?
Sounds like an insult.
A lot
Like
of people
if
have
I
felt
walked
it.
in here and I walked in here and I was like, "Here, I got you this wonderful car." And she just kind of gestures to the car that he was working on.
Exactly.
That's shitty.
So they kidnapped me and forced me to work for them, and in the end, they gave me my own car. Here you go. This is yours. Yeah, I know. I know it's fucking mine.
And I'm guessing they patted themselves on the back for being so generous afterwards.
A lot of them did, I'm sure.
Cool.
There are some people who wanted to do more, I'm sure, but their voices were not very loud. It's like you're that one person at a concert who's yelling that the music's too loud. Even if you are heard, you're ignored.
Mm-hmm.
Or say if you're like at a Metallica concert and they're playing a song from the Master of Puppets album and you're yelling for something from Reloaded and we all go tell you to go fuck yourself.
Right.
Have you had a chance to meet with that Pisky I told you about yet?
Uh-uh.
Diva? Well, if you got nothing going on tonight, maybe we'll head down there to her bar. She's got an Adheen living with her.
Okay.
So you'll meet someone from your own kith and an Adheen. She's a type of Adheen. They have like their own kiths, I think. She says something like Fuith or Fu. I don't know. She was shaking her hips. I wasn't paying much attention to her lips.
How nice of you.
Yeah, I'm honest.
Uh, it'll be interesting, I guess. It'll be cool to see another Pisky.
Yeah. You share bonds somewhere. A lot of kiths stick together. She has the same instincts as you.
I hadn't seen anybody else like call themselves one though.
Yeah, you're a rare
Is she
kith.
the only one?
Only the one I know of. I only heard of them.
Oh,
The first one I ever saw was Diva. I just knew they existed.
so we're like a rare and valuable magic card. Cool. I can dig it.
Yeah, we'll go with that if that makes you feel better. And there are others. There's the Selkies, who have their own little kingdom in Brighton Beach.
Like seal people?
Yeah, seal people.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
It's a little patronizing, don't you think?
I've
Don't do that to them.
seen the videos of the fluffy little white seals.
I mean, yeah. Don't go talking like that to them.
The deer guy liked that I called him cute.
Well, Lancaster is his own special beast.
So what are the deer people? Oh wait, you told me.
Lanc-
Uh,
Lancaster's a puka.
right, right.
He's also a shithead. But he smiles when he says shithead. That's why he's got that backwards talk.
Did he talk weird? I just, I don't know. I think I got really drunk or something.
Yeah, he's got backwards talk. You'll hear it. He always says the opposite of what he means.
Okay.
He has to. Pukas have to lie. So when he speaks, he always means the opposite.
Okay.
So if you walk up to him and I say, hey, Lancaster, this is my ward, Siobhan, and he says, it's terrible to meet you. Your face looks like a fat person's butt. He actually means it's nice to meet you.
Hey.
And he finds you. He means it's nice to meet you, and he thinks you're cute.
Okay.
He always talks in the opposite.
All
But
right.
if you're talking to a puka and they seem to be talking normally, somewhere in there is a lie.
That sounds frustrating as fuck.
That's why a lot of people don't like talking to him. So if a puka tells you that this morning they went down to Starbucks and got themselves a cappuccino, somewhere in there is a lie. It may not have been Starbucks. It might have been Dunkin' Donuts. It may have been Starbucks, but it had been a black coffee and not a cappuccino. Or they didn't go fucking anywhere and had a bagel at home. You have no idea.
Wait, doesn't that drive those Gwydion people crazy?
Yeah, it does.
That's so fucking funny.
Isn't it though?
Why don't we have more of those?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the dreaming why it doesn't make more.
Maybe I will.
There are other kiths. We all have our thing. Like I told you last time, like how from every time you leave my shop, I'm having you empty out your pockets.
I I think that's prejudiced.
I think it's smart.
I think you've greatly offended my people and now you need to pay me like reparations or something.
Hey, or you can just empty your fucking pockets when you exit my shop.
Fine.
The the large blue people, the trolls, are very honorable individuals. Don't go insulting that. They really don't like it.
Okay.
The red caps are big, ugly, sharp teeth. They're always hungry, and they can eat anything. Like literally, they can eat your arm.
Anything?
Yeah, arm, cans, that engine. Yeah, they can eat anything.
Does it taste good?
They seem to really enjoy eating shit, and they're very nasty. Don't get too close.
Nasty how?
They have very bad temperaments. They're very violent.
Okay.
The other one you really have to watch out for, the Slua.
What's that?
They're generally pale, sunken eyeballs, stick to the shadows. They can only whisper. It's really creepy.
That's kind of cool.
They're information gatherers. Some say liars, poisoners, assassins. But if you need
Scoop.
information, they generally know it.
But let me guess, there's a catch or something?
Yeah, they may not tell you.
Okay.
If you trust the she, then they're telling you it's probably a lie. Or they eat babies. Or any other such nonsense. I don't know, they may eat
I
babies, I have
thought you
no
said we
idea.
don't eat babies.
I don't know. They might eat babies. Some people say they eat babies.
Okay.
I have no idea. But if you want to talk to one, go asking around for them. They'll find you. It's creepy as shit.
All right.
Be very polite. And they'll be very polite back to you.
That sounds easy enough.
Yeah, you can generally get along with them as long as you're polite.
Hmm.
Call one a liar, and I'll prepare your funeral.
Okay.
I exploded your head yet?
Eh, I I can grok most of that.
Alright, well, I got some work to do to make some money.
Are you telling me to fuck off?
If I was telling you to fuck off, I would just tell you to fuck off. I'm just telling you I got work to do. You can hang out here if you want, but the education lessons must stop so I can focus on my work. You can watch and assist if you want.
So when are you going to show me how to do magic?
We'll do it at Diva's place tonight.
Sweet.
The alcohol will help loosen you up a bit, so you're a little more susceptible.
Okay. It's a really creepy way to say that.
And if you break anything in there, I can fix it.
All right. Seems legit.
I drink a lot of alcohol. I get it for free, but I'm not a freeloader, so that way I know I'm earning my keep.
Uh-huh.
So
Sweet.
leave, stay, whatever. If you leave, I'll let you know when we're going.
Okay. I guess I'll go see you then.
Yeah, see you then. Empty your pockets.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. Empty your fucking pockets.
What if I promise I don't have anything?
I call you a liar. Empty your fucking pockets.
She just stares at him for a minute before she starts pulling things out of her pockets. Most of them belong to him.
Yeah, go fuck off now. Give me it. I'm not going to steal your shit nonsense. Get out of here.
Alright, fine. And she picks up her backpack and she'll leave.
All right, and we'll end our scene there.
Thank you to my fellow player for playing. Thank you to our watchers for watching. This has been another scene for Living World of Darkness Changeling Venue.